Nairobi, the capital of Kenya, a city that oozes opulence. On the other hand, a visit to the rural areas of Kenya greets you with a stark contrast. Here, the story changes. But help is on its way.
In our search for lasting solutions for long-standing problems of poverty and vulnerability, we are seeing a new spirit of imagination, innovation, and collaboration. Hunger Safety Net program is one such example. The spread of modern technologies, the evolution of approaches to targeting, the willingness of donors to take risks, the building of solid partnership have all combined to bring us here today to launch a program that I believe has the potential to improve the lives of the most vulnerable in our society. I also thank the Department of International Development of the British government for the technical and very generous funding. It gives me great pleasure officially to launch the Hunger Safety Net program to reiterate my commitment to helping it succeed. Thank you very much.
The UK Department for International Development is delighted to be supporting social protection in Kenya to help some of the country's poorest people. We've made a long-term commitment of £122 million, about 14 billion shillings, to help in a variety of ways, with orphans and vulnerable children, with a Hunger Safety Net programme that's targeting some of the poorest people in the arid lands of the country, helping the government to develop a good policy on social protection, and trying to get sustainable finance behind it. I visited Turkana last month and saw the poverty that some of the people there live in. We're convinced from work elsewhere in the world, including in Brazil, that cash transfers is one of the most efficient ways to help these people.
A consortium, including Care International, Save the Children UK, headed by Oxfam GB, has been contracted to manage the targeting and registration of qualified households into the Hunger Safety Net programme, or HSNP for short, including case management of the selected households. Targeted cash transfers is a relatively new concept in Africa. The 3-year pilot phase of the HSNP will test 3 different targeting methods. These will create the evidence base required to inform the design of the scale-up during phase 2 of the programme, which will roll out the most effective method for Kenya. The first method, social pensions, will target older persons, aged 55 years and above, who will receive unconditional cash transfers throughout the duration of the programme. The second targeting method, household dependency ratio, involves selecting households with a larger number of dependents. That is, the old, young, sick and disabled, compared to the economically productive members of the household. The final targeting method is community-based, whereby community members are helped to identify those most at risk and needy members of their villages. Only one targeting method is used in any one sub-location. And when all the targeting has been completed, everybody is informed of the day when registration will take place. During the enrollment, the thumbprints of 2 household representatives are required. This is done to ensure there is adequate representation of a household, should one person not be available during the payment process, then the other one is used. Thus, people are lined up 2 by 2. The enrollment process involves the use of biometric identification. This involves digital scanning of the thumbs to get a clear individual identification of the person. All the details are entered into a computer database in the field, which is later consolidated by districts, and then all district information is consolidated together at a national level. At registration, a photograph is taken of the person who will be collecting the cash transfers. This can be the beneficiary or a younger relation nominated by the beneficiary. And when the photograph is taken, it is captured on the computer database to become embedded in the smart card. During this process, HelpAge International, together with local partners, have been contracted to oversee social protection rights. They are therefore on hand to verify and validate that the targeting and registration enrolment is conducted in a transparent and accountable manner. Once rights are satisfied that all is correctly completed, they then confirm this to the national coordinator of the Hunger Safety Net programme. HelpAge International ensures fairness of the selection process to minimise or eliminate inclusion and exclusion errors. They are assisted by village representatives. The number of people who qualify to be enrolled exceeds the number of those who can be included in Phase 1 of the programme. This creates tremendous pressure on the programme to scale up quickly, particularly within, but also outside, the target areas. The names of selected beneficiary households are posted in the village. However, some villagers could be disappointed with the process, as they perceive it unfair, therefore causing grievances. Should anyone feel aggrieved that someone has been wrongly included, or left out, or has a special problem, there is a rights representative to report to. Representative rights committees are established in every village, and any grievance is duly noted and reported. This is the rights-based approach to social protection. The programme seeks to validate the effectiveness and impact of cash transfers on hunger and poverty, and will apply rigorous monitoring and evaluation processes working with households receiving payments. This will be done on a random basis in about 10% of the sub-locations. By comparison, an equal number of sub-locations that will not be receiving payments for 2 years will also be monitored. The results of the monitoring and evaluation process will provide evidence-based information that cash transfers does have a measurable impact on hunger and poverty. At the time of registration and enrolment, nobody in the monitoring and evaluation sub-locations will know who will be accepted for payments and who will be delayed for 2 years. While this might seem unfair to have a comparison group not receiving payments for 2 years, it is very important to have this group in order to compare them with those receiving payments. Moreover, this approach has been developed with the full approval of the Government of Kenya, district steering groups and community leaders. As an ethical gesture, those in the comparison groups will receive some practical assistance, such as cooking utensils, but nothing that might affect gaining that vital, evidence-based information to quantify how successful the programme has been. Here at the Office of the Secretariat for the Hunger Safety Net programme, a management information system has been installed to collect all the field data from the registration. The programme coordinator, based in Nairobi, vets and approves the list to submit electronically and in hard copy to Equity Bank headquarters. It is the responsibility of Equity Bank to check that the list meets its minimal requirements, including a clear thumbprint and photograph.
List of households for wave 2. Okay. And this is the diskette with all the information, the photographs, the fingerprints, and the list of households. Okay.
Each name will be carefully checked before being entered into the database, and from there to print the biometric smart cards, which include an embedded chip. First, the machine is loaded with blanks. The machine then prints out all the required information including the fingerprint embedded in the chip and the photograph. With the smart cards printed, administration can now proceed to distribute them, carefully checking them against the list and then against the beneficiary's national identity card. This provides a foolproof method to prevent fraud by impersonation. The uncollected cards are counted, verified against the list and returned to the admin office for safekeeping until the beneficiaries are able to collect them. With village communities spread out over vast areas of often arid land, access to banks or post offices to collect money is difficult. Therefore, the Hunger Safety Net programme contracted FSD Kenya, together with Equity Bank, to come up with an alternative way of making payments. A network of ordinary shopkeepers who have adequate cash flow was selected to make the payments on behalf of the programme. Where there is no electricity, Equity Bank installs solar panels. This charges a battery, and when put through an inverter, the power becomes AC. This power gives the shopkeeper light and charges the batteries of the payment machine. At the base of the machine are two mobile phone SIM cards installed to automatically transmit data back to the Equity Bank, as well as recording it on the agent's bank card. Beneficiaries visit on specific days to collect money on a 2-month cycle. On arrival, they present their smart card issued by Equity Bank, which is placed into the machine. The recipients are then required to place their thumb on the machine, which verifies that they are the owners of the card. The smart card starts off with no credit, so the first stage is to transfer credit, in this case 2,150 shillings, from the agent's bank card account to the beneficiary's smart card. 2 receipts are produced by the machine, one confirming that the beneficiary's smart card has received a credit, and another confirming that the agent's bank card has been debited. A second thumbprint is taken, and on verification, the sum required is entered. 2 additional receipts are then printed off. One for the beneficiary and the second for the agent. The beneficiary is then given the money, together with their card, and making sure they have their 2 printed receipts, which contain details of the transactions. Shopkeepers are using money received from normal trading, but any money paid out is immediately recorded on their card at the bottom of the machine as credit and transmitted via the SIM card to the trader's account with Equity Bank. Money left on the smart card is secure, as even if the smart card is stolen, nobody can use it without a matching thumbprint, and all transactions have both a paper confirmation for the beneficiary and agent backed up by an electronic record transmitted via the SIM card to Equity Bank. When shopkeepers visit their local Equity Bank, they hand over their agent's bank card and draw down as much cash as they require to purchase new supplies. This lowers their risk of keeping too much money at their shops and carrying large sums of cash from their shops to the main towns. All the cash transfers given by the Hunger Safety Net programme are unconditional. Experience from other cash transfer programmes show that the extreme poor will spend their money wisely, mainly on locally produced food for the immediate relief from hunger, uniforms to allow them to send their children to school, medicines to relieve illness, and thereafter food security by buying such things as vegetable seeds, pulses or staple food seeds, as well as goats, sheep or even cows, as an insurance against any future shocks. The objectives of the social pillar of the Vision 2030 of the Government of Kenya is specifically to build a just and cohesive society for social equity in a clean and secure environment. Social protection is a right, as espoused in several declarations at the global level and the national commitments by Kenya. First, by improving the education and health status of the poor. Social protection is directly linked to human capital development. Social protection alleviates inequality. A highly unequal distribution of income can lead to social unrest and upheavals. Thus, by providing a basic level of income, social protection can promote greater labour market activity.